Aww. I'm Mediocrity4, and this is my review for RWBY Volume 4, Episode 10, Kudo Yuri. If you haven't seen the episode yet, you may want to before watching this review. Hey, I'm human. I like cute things. I like cat posters. I like kids. I know a lot can be forgiven if someone or something gives you the cutest look. But by God, I was not expecting this. This episode is just... oh my God, they're so goddamn cute! I can hardly objectify this episode. That's how unrepentantly adorable this episode is, even with all the murderiness. So before my heart explodes from the awes, let's address some of the bad. I have a grouch with Oscar. I said before that the show doesn't really have time to do the whole reluctant hero bit. I was thinking that reluctance would be a key trait and that was the purpose of his last appearance, but they needed to resolve it next time we see him. What I didn't mean was resolving it off screen before the next time we see him. It renders his last appearance pointless, and Oscar scenes were already feigning relevance. It is nice to see Hazel. I get the feeling that he's perhaps the politest of the villains. If so, I want to know his backstory. Even though I complain about too many characters in the show, a show that has superpowered teenagers can never have too many villains. The rest of the episode is made up of 5 scenes. 2 flashback scenes with a young Ren, and a scene for each of our ships. Pairs. Yeah, pairs. Oh my God, they're so cute. Calm down, media. You're trying to be objective. RWBY and Jean are in the destroyed town of Kudo Yuri. And sweet mother of Jesus, I love these two so much. Must resist the feels. Must save ship talk for a different video. Alright, I like how Jean has a good idea of what happened and why Ren didn't want to come. It makes sense for him to know about Ren and Nora's backstory. He knew that the village in Volume 2 meant something to Ren. He knew what they had gone through, even if he didn't know it was Kudo Yuri specifically. I swear, Miles needs to decide whether his insert character is secretly the smartest person on the team or the dumbest who gets lucky. And that other scene with them, I swear, it's like the first time Miles and Carrie remembered what they actually wrote. As much as I loved Remembrance, as the volume has progressed, it has seemed more and more irrelevant. But from the banner of Xi'an Village to Jean's resolve, this episode made that episode matter even more. And that's not including the previously mentioned parallel to Volume 2, and the more obvious one to Volume 1. You know the one. You know, the reason I ship these two so hard? Jean is hurt because of Pyrrha, but he's acting like an adult. He realizes he's not the only one who lost her. They all did, and the others lost so much more. Ren and Nora lost their whole family and home long ago. RWBY lost her friends, her team, and Wei lost her sister, plus her mom years earlier. Jean has no right to complain, and he knows it. That's why he mourns and trains alone at night while they're all sleeping. And RWBY's so selfless, she doesn't realize it until Jean has to spell it out for her. RWBY is on the verge of losing her uncle, yet she feels guilt over getting Jean and the others involved. She's apologizing for not making it in time to save Pyrrha. Anyone still want to argue with me on why I love RWBY so much? The Ranger scenes are broken up by flashbacks of a young Ren, who has a British accent for some reason. Through these scenes, we get a clear picture of what happened. Again, am I in some weird universe where Miles suddenly learned how to write with intent? Clearly, his father was working with Ana Yuri, probably as security. They got attacked and had to retreat to Kudo Yuri. Papa Ren spoke with the mayor, they got a hunting party, found the beast lair, got torn up, retreated, and the monster followed them home. And goodness is this monster scary. I'm 90% sure it's supposed to be a Nuclavi. Look this thing up, it's a real nightmare. But what's important is that we get the first meeting between Ren and Nora, and oh my God! Calm down. Seriously, baby Nora might be the cutest and most tragic thing in this whole series. She's got it so rough that she's eating moldy bread out of a dumpster. And later, it's Ren who has to cheer her up, a sentiment she'd pay back to him every chance she gets. The Grimm attack that night, and Ren's parents die, and I don't know how to feel about this next scene. If Ren's semblance is to hide from Grimm, it's dumb. It goes against his personality, his drive to be a huntsman, and it goes against the theme of the episode. So, I hope it's something else or works differently. In my opinion, his aura unlocking gave him confidence. Filled with that positivity, the Grimm couldn't sense anything. Same thing happened to Nora when Ren reached her. She felt safe, and therefore the Grimm couldn't find her either. And to those who think his semblance is cutting off emotions, yeah, that totally looks like the face of an emotionless automaton. I'm also excited for the implications. For Rin, the Grimm are a nightmare. They killed his parents and he carries weapons with that style of knife in his father's memory. But for Nora, it was the start of her life. Kuroyuri never did her any favors. That's why she uses the hammer, in memory of how her and Rin were brought together in his darkest hour. And they're still together, as the end of the episode shows. Not much here that we didn't go into detail on in the podcast. I sense that Rin is going to have a panic attack, torn between facing his nightmares to save his friends and staying safe. If so, then it's going to be Nora who makes that decision for him. So those are my thoughts on the episode. A few small issues aside, this episode was brilliant. My emotions didn't get quite high enough for me to confidently say it was the best, but right now it's top 3 easily. This episode was just so freaking adorable. I'm Mediocrity4. Thanks for watching.